Hello?
Well, what happened?
It's like his audio is off again.
No, I turned his audio off for a second because it's coming in garbled. So he's going to try to move the computer. But he did say, if you want to start the meeting, Ken, you can go right ahead and start the meeting.
I don't have the agenda, do you?
I do have the agenda,
I
actually.
thought so. I saw it before.
Yes.
Told me I didn't have to print it.
I told you. Killing me. Are we doing the pledge?
I don't know.
Here's your,
I guess we are. That's the first thing.
that is the first thing. I
I
don't
guess
have
we
a
can.
flag
I
today.
guess we can sit, or we all show our belt buckles, right?
Okay, we can sit, but I don't have a flag today. My apologies.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of
the
the
United
United
States
States
of
of
America,
America and to the republic
Public,
for
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
under
under
God,
God.
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty, justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
That was lovely.
Yeah, we were really together on that. Well, welcome to the Zoom meeting of the Town of Tustin Planning Board. We're getting started here with minor technical difficulties, I believe. For everybody, this meeting will be recorded. The board members, when you speak, you will be recorded. It'll be part of the permanent record. So watch the snide remarks that I usually make. All board members will be unmuted throughout the entirety of the meeting. As your project is presented, everyone involved will then be unmuted to be sure and mindful of any background noise that may be present. Roll call votes will be done for every vote. Prior to your comment, please state your name each time. And that's so that we get some minutes because you won't be seeing us then. If anyone has any questions during the meeting, you can use the chat feature at the bottom of the screen to communicate with the host, Crystal. If you need to raise your hand during the meeting, you can find the raise your hand feature under participants, also located at the bottom of the screen. Funny thing, at the bottom of my screen is nothing because this thing is taking it over. Hope I don't have to raise my hand.
That's only
Please.
right now.
Please take notice that the top right of most screens, you will see options for gallery view or speaker view. And to the right, you can exit full screen mode. Okay. Everybody ready for the meeting business? I don't think we have any old business we're bringing up because we haven't met in a while. Are we reading minutes, Amy?
I have them if you want me to read them.
I guess that's the proper thing to do. So would you like
Okay.
to do that now?
Sure. Regular meeting of the Town of Tustin Planning Board was held on February 17th at the Tustin Town Hall with the following members present. Ed Jackson, Chairman, Ken Boehm, Joe Carreri, Sean Harrington, Barry Becker, John Kaufman, absent Mary Bermudez, and Kathleen Hankins. Others present, there was approximately 4 members of the public. The regular meeting was opened at 7:30 p.m. following the Pledge of Allegiance. Resolution 0120, on motion by Boehm, second by Kaufman, the following resolution was adopted. A6 nay 0, resolved to accept the December 2019 minutes. There was no meeting in January. Correspondence 1217, Juliet Herman, special use approval. Resolution 0220, motion by Boehm, second by Carreri, the following resolution was adopted. A6 nay 0, resolved to approve the lot line adjustment for Pete Zakari, 1051 Crystal Lake Road, Narrowsburg, SBL 7.A-1-14 and 7.A-1-28. Maps were signed and approved and numbered 2020-01. Frank Chavoto, 413 Humphrey Road, Narrowsburg, SBL 1-1-7.1 and 1-1-7.2. For a lot line adjustment, Diane Hedges is selling 7 acres to Chavoto. Discussion, need to check where the well is on Hedges' property. Chairman will check with county to see if 239 is needed. Lot line adjustment approval, resolution 0320, motion by Jackson, second by Bain. The following resolution was adopted, A6, nay 0. Resolved to approve the lot line adjustment for Frank Chavoto, 413 Humphrey Road, pending the requirement of the 239. Maps were signed and approved, 2020-02 numbered. Brendan and Kathleen Wyden purchased the house across from the Union, not the property, as the railroad owns that. They would like to build on the front of the house and on the back, along with building a garage for a small retail office and a dwelling on the second floor. Approximately 8 parking spaces will be added. There's currently 880 square feet and would make it approximately 1,837 square feet. The septic tank will move from the backyard to the front. A new tank would be installed. Discussion, having the parking entrance be from the bridge side, as it would be easier to see when exiting. More detail is needed. The UDC will have to do the architectural review, show the face and sides of the structure. Accept concept, resolution 0420. Motion by Bain, second by Carreri. The following resolution was adopted, A6, nay 0. Resolved to accept the concept presented by Brendan and Wyden and Kathleen Wyden to change SBL 10-1-1.3 into commercial land, 2 residential unit with attached garage and parking modified for safe entrance and exit. Joanne Roberts, Kirk Roberts, 5987 State Route 97, SBL 16-7-12.1 and 16-7-10 for a lot line combination of a total of 1.21 acres. The house is on one parcel and the shed was built on the neighbor's property. Resolution 0520, motion by Jackson, second by Harrington. The following resolution was adopted, A6, nay 0. Resolved to approve the lot line combination for Joanne Roberts, and Kirk Roberts. Beaverbrook Rod and Gun Club would like to combine parcels located on Irishtown Road and Old Coshocton Turnpike. SBL 19-1-14 to combine with 24-1-15, 24-1-16, 24-104, and 22-1-7. Resolution 0620, a motion by Jackson, second by Carreri. The following resolution was approved. A6, nay 0, resolved to approve the lot combination for Beaverbrook Rod and Gun Club. These parcels are on Irishtown Road and Old Coshocton Turnpike. There being no other board or public comment on motion by Bain, second by Harrington, the meeting adjourned to 8:42 p.m.
Thank you, Amy.
Yep.
Does anyone have any corrections? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as read?
Joe Carreri, I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Do we have to do an individual vote on this too, Crystal, or we just say all in favor or nay?
For the record, we need everyone to do a roll call. So I would just need you to state each person's name and then they can state their vote.
I'm supposed to know everybody, huh? I vote yes. Mary?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mike, you don't vote. Kathy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Ed, if you're listening. Wait, he's not listening. Well, we got enough yeses. We had no nays.
Ed's not back yet.
No, he's not back yet. What's our next thing, Crystal? Do we go to the new business now, or?
Yes, you're going to go to your new
Oh, and
business
one
now.
comment on the Beaverbrook Rod and Gun Club combination. 2 of the parcels ending in 15 and 16, the school district line zigzags there. And they happened to be an elder district, so they did not get included. But the rest were done, just for your information. Okay, go ahead, Crystal.
Okay, so the next piece is going to be Patrick Harrison to, it's a lot subdivision. So I'm going to share that map, and then we have James here.
Yes, can you hear me, Crystal?
Yes, we can. Give me 1 second. I will pull that up for you. Share screen. Okay. And I want to. Whoops. Everyone see the map?
We
Yes.
do. Can we move around on it, or do you only do that?
So give me 1 sec. Who would like to have my mouse control? I was going to give my mouse control to James since he knows the map.
Good
I
deal.
think it would be easier if someone has a question to let them have it.
Well, why don't you take it for now, James?
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Why can't I find
Except I
James?
think you, oh, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, I can't find him. Give me 1 sec. James, what are you logged in as?
Samsung J327.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can make it bigger, whatever you got to do.
Okay.
Probably just draw it up a way so we can see the house area.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not having success here.
Hold on, let me just do this. Is this what you're trying to do?
That's good.
Yes,
That
you
kind of
did.
gives us an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, presently Patrick Harrison, Patrick and Peggy own parcel, and it is identified as Town of Tustin, Section 21, Block 1, Lot 36.1. Contains 51.03 acres. They are proposing to subdivide Lot 1 containing 40 acres and convey it to Beaverbrook Rod and Gun Club. The remaining lands of Harrison presently have a dwelling, septic system, and a drilled well, along with a couple outbuildings, a garage, and a shed.
Am I messing this up on you? I'm sorry.
No, you're doing good. For those of you who were not on the board in years back, the former owner before Harrison, Mrs. Stutz, conveyed a lot of the back land to Beaverbrook already. So this is just adding on to what was done. The part over on the right of your screen that they owned was hers at one time, a lot of it.
Okay.
Does anybody need me to zoom in at all or move it around?
No,
I think we're good.
Good.
It looks
we're
good.
good.
Mhm.
Okay. So now you need to go over which form is it that you're going to review.
Whatever one you put up.
Take your pick. I've got the EAF. Nope. EAF, would you like?
Sure.
Yeah, put the EAF, we'll go through that first.
Okay.
Part 1 is present owner is Patrick and Margaret Harrison. It's located on the south side of Blind Pond Road, approximately 500 feet east of Dexheimer and Ryer Road. As I mentioned earlier, subdivision of Lot 1 containing 40 acres from a total of 51.03. The Harrisons plan on retaining 11.03 acres. Um,
Just walk me through this, James, if you need me to move down any slower or
No.
faster.
Jim, I wouldn't suggest you really check forest. It's just a residential area.
Okay, it says
The
check
land
all
uses that
land
occur
uses
adjoining, okay. Beaver Brook is in forest and they're adjoining. Okay, leave it. Sorry,
Okay,
I'll shut up and you go on.
can everybody see that?
Yes.
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 Does the proposed action only involve legislative adoption of a plan, local law? No. And then number 2, does a proposed action require a permit, approval, or funding from any other government agency? No.
Sorry.
3, total acreage, 51.03. Number 4, check all land uses on or adjoining or near the proposed action. Check residential and forest. On to page 2, number 5.
Stop.
Is the proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulations? Yes. Number 6, is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? Yes. 7, is the site proposed action located in or does it adjoin a state listed critical environmental area? No. 8, 8A, will a proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. 8B, are public transportation services available at or near the site of the proposed action? No. 8C, are pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of the proposed action? No. Number 9, does the proposed action meet or exceed state energy code requirements? No. 10, will the proposed action connect to an existing public or private water supply? No, it has an existing water well. Number 11, will the proposed action connect to existing wastewater utilities? No, they presently have an existing sewage system. 12, 12A, does the project site contain or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed on the National or State Register of Historic Places, or that has been determined by the Commissioner of New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation to be eligible for listing on the State Register of Historic Places? No. 12B, is the project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office Archaeological Site Inventory? No. 13A, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency? Yes. 13B, would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water body? No. Page 3, number 14, identify the typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found on the project site. Check all that apply. Again, wetland and forest. Number 15, does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No. 16, is the project site located in the 100-year floodplain? No. Will the proposed action create a stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? No. 17A, will stormwater discharges flow to adjacent properties? No. 17B, will stormwater discharges be directed to established conveyance systems, runoff storm drains? No. 18, Does the proposed action include construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids? No. 19, has the site of the proposed action or an adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? No. Number 20, has the site of the proposed action or any adjoining property been the subject of remediation, ongoing or completed, for hazardous waste? No. And that is the end of the EAF. Any questions there?
Go ahead, Ken, sorry.
Oh, you took it off? Okay.
The dogs are barking, so I figured I'd give you a
I
break.
know. Dot was bad. She was moving around.
That's okay.
I don't have any questions for Jim. Does anyone else?
No, I don't have any.
No.
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 Does your form have a part for what the action is? Or is it in place of the seeker, or you got a separate seeker form, Jim?
That I'm not sure, Ken. I had
I'm
the
not
short-
sure either. This form seemed a little different to me, and usually I get to read these things, so I know about reading all the questions. Could we look at your other form, Crystal?
The
Sure.
GML 239 referral form is the other form that I have.
Okay, so then this is your all total environmental assessment one, right?
Yes.
Okay, there should be another page that the chairman usually signs off,
Yes.
and we put our vote. At this point, we did not identify any environmental hazards, I don't believe. So I would entertain a motion for someone to accept this environmental assessment form as presented with no or minimal actions.
John Kopman, I accept the form as read.
Okay, we got a motion. Any seconds?
Mary,
Joe
yes.
Carreri, I'll second.
Okay, we got lots of seconds. Okay, we'll take our vote. I'm an aye. Mary?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Ben, yeah, Kathy.
Aye.
Sign on as Ben and fool us, will you? John?
Aye.
Barry?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
And Ed, if you're listening, whatever you want. Okay, we'll get that signed and
There's
we'll
Ed.
file it away whenever it's allowed in the town hall again. Now, do we
Oh,
need to
there he
look at
is.
the other form, Jim?
The GML 239 referral form?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know if you want Crystal to pull it up there.
yeah, she's up to.
Okay.
All right, so this is something Ed sends in. Actually, on this one, I don't think it has to be done because it's not on a state highway,
Okay.
but I could be wrong on that. He usually takes care of all those things. So you've done the form.
Hear me, Kenny?
What was that, Ed?
Can you hear me?
We did.
All right, we don't need a 239 on that because it's not on a state highway and it's not on anything spectacular.
Okay.
I think that's what I said, but I'm not sure what you said. We do not need it, correct?
Correct. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said you don't need the 239 because it's not on the
Okay.
state highway.
Yeah, he was breaking up pretty bad. And my internet connection's unstable too, so there. Okay. Ed, how are we doing this? As a lot improvement or subdivision?
Let me see, where'd he go?
What happened? My screen just changed. I can't hardly see anything.
Ed?
That's what happens when you live way out in Beaver Brook, right?
can't hear anything at all now. It'll garble still, it'll better.
Crystal, can you call him on the phone and then translate?
Yeah. Now I can see everything now.
We can see you.
Yeah. Again, it's saying lower resources, so it must be the signal out here is not that good anymore.
Maybe you can make up a sign.
I can't hear anything.
Now, this would be a two-lot subdivision, but it's being conveyed to an adjoining owner to be on to their lands, and that's why I asked the question, if we're just doing it as a lot improvement or if we need to do all that stuff. I think we can do just a lot improvement.
Ed, turn the sound off on your computer.
Ed turned off.
Okay, so I'm gonna, okay. Can you still, you can hear me talking on the phone, but you can't hear Barry Becker. Barry, can you talk for a second?
Yeah, I think, yeah, Ed is muted on the screen.
Ed, you can't hear him, can you? Okay, good. Hold on. Okay. Let's try this. We're gonna see how this works. Ken,
Yes?
Ed, can you hear him?
Hello, Ed.
Just barely.
But you can. This is good. Okay.
Survival of the teaching.
All right. Ed, they want to know if we're doing this as a subdivision or a land lot improvement. Did I say?
Harrison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Subdivision.
We're going to do it as a 2-lot subdivision. That answer your question, Ken?
Yes. That means we need to set a public hearing and have a public meeting next time.
Yeah, he said that was the next thing on the agenda. He said that you would need to set a public hearing. Correct, Ed?
Yeah, we have to set a public hearing for next month.
Yes, set a public hearing for next month.
Amy, what day do we meet next month?
May 18th.
Okay, how about 7:25 for Harrison?
Okay.
Okay, Ed, they're saying May 18th at 7:25.
Right.
Okay.
Now, Jim, are you familiar with that the notices of the public hearing have to be sent to all landowners within 500 feet of these property lines?
No, I am not.
I don't know if Harrison's going to do it or you're going to do it, but we have to have the notice mailed to them, certified return receipt requested, and we want those receipts back and the proof of mailing at the next meeting. We'll have to have the notice like the paper would have that there's a public hearing on Harrison's land subdivision.
Okay, I just want to double verify this. The public hearing is May 18th at 7:25 PM.
Correct.
Okay. Between the Harrisons and myself, I'll make sure that everyone within 500 feet has a letter receipt request.
Yeah, and take that from the property lines. So, they've got rather large piece, so you got to go around the lines, not just from their house front door. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Before you send out your letter, James, before you send out the letter, I will set up a Zoom meeting tonight. So this way, if there is still the need for Zoom for a public hearing, you will have the Zoom ID information on that notice. I can send you a notice that we send out for the ZBA with those simple instructions as well, if you'd like.
Okay, perfect. I would appreciate that.
Yep.
And do you have the actual address for Patrick Harrison, like his home address?
No, all that I have is a PO Box 155, Narrowsburg, New York.
Okay. Was he on Blind Pond Road?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we need a motion to give the preliminary approval. We've set the hearing and all that stuff. Maybe we've done it out of order, but you need a motion for a preliminary approval for the Harrison subdivision.
This is Joe. I'll make a motion for the preliminary approval.
Thank you, Joe. Kathy, you seconding? I saw
I'll
your thumb
second.
there.
Yep, I'll second.
You lit up like you were going to say something. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor for the Harrison subdivision preliminary approval. I'm an aye. Joe?
Aye.
Kathy?
Yep, I second it.
John?
Aye.
Barry?
Aye.
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Ed? Whatever, he's there. Mary?
No, he said aye. He said aye.
Oh, good. Okay. We have all approvals, no nays, so carried. Anything
Now,
else
do
you
you-
want done on that, Ed?
You also, you did not pass a resolution to set the public hearing. Do you need to do that or no?
Yes.
Yes. He said you
Okay.
need to make a resolution to set the public hearing.
Right.
This is Sean. I make a motion, we set the public hearing.
This is Mary, and I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for the public hearing on May 18th at 7:25 for Harrison subdivision. Aye from me. Joe?
Aye.
Aye.
Joe? Okay.
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mary, aye.
Barry?
Ed?
Sean?
Ed says aye.
Barry? I guess we got them. Some people were answering out of order here, but we got it. Any nays? Okay, carried.
Perfect.
Anything else that we got on that list, Crystal?
That was everything for Patrick Harrison, correct, Ed?
Yes, that was just a subdivision there. The next thing on the agenda should be Mike Packer.
Yes, it's Mike Packer. Okay, so James, you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll look forward to the email.
Absolutely. We'll send that tonight.
Thank you for everyone.
Yep. Okay. Hi, Mike.
Hey,
All
if you
right.
just put the application up first, we'll run through that real quick.
Sir, yes, sir. Let's see. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. We are on. Go.
You want to go to the application first?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Let's go
did say
order.
that.
Yes, I did. We'll go in the right order.
There you go.
All right. So everybody have the application in front of them.
Yes.
Basically, all it says is that Nick and Jennifer Robespierre owns 2 lots in Perry Pond. And what I'm doing is combining lots 70 and 71 to make 1 lot. It'll be 10.26 acres. Everybody see what it says?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody good?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So let's go back to the map now then.
I can't right now. I'm in the middle of a vote.
All right. Hold on. Don't move the mouse.
All right, then I'll chain up.
Can you see the map at the top to click on or no? There you go.
Yep. All right. So as you can see in front of you, they own 2 lots, lot 70 and 71. Lot 70 is what? 5.25 acres, and lot 71 was 5.01 acres. What they're going to do is extinguish the line between 70 and 71 to create 1 lot. And then they'll just have, what I'm going to do is call it lot 70R for lot 70 revised. And then it'll be 1 tax map lot, 1 lot of record, 1 lot, 1 deed lot. So you have combined acres of 10.26. the reason I want to do this basically is I want to put a house right here. And if I put it there, I'll be violating all the setback lines.
Okay.
So that's why we're combining these two lots.
On speaker. There you go.
Okay.
There's already a little cabin on it, but that will become a secondary auxiliary use building when we're all done. So really, that's about it. It's just two lots becoming one in Perry Pond subdivision. Anybody need me to go left, right, back, forward? Any questions?
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And it cleans up the tax map somewhat.
Well, yeah, it's already two lots, but like I said, it's in Perry Pond subdivision. He just wants to build right on the property line, so I have to
Yeah.
extinguish that line.
Ed is saying that this will clean up the tax map a little bit.
Yeah.
Good.
All good?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot line adjustment, so I'm not really applying for a public hearing. It's just a one and done deal, if I understand it correctly.
Yes, Ed said that we just needed to review this and then we could approve it. And then we would have the maps delivered to Ken and to Ed as needed to be stamped. Correct, Ed?
Or you can sign them for us, Crystal.
I can sign them for you.
Yeah, you sign it as town clerk for planning board chairman and deputy.
All right, as long as you set a resolution.
You can write me a check, Crystal.
I can write everyone checks. And as long as you make a resolution for that you want authorize me to sign it, I'd be happy to do so for you.
Yeah, because of the situations.
Okay. Ken, did you hear that? Ken, you muted yourself.
I hadn't touched a thing.
Did you hear what Ed said?
No.
Ed is asking, Ed,
I authorized Crystal to sign everything for us.
Okay.
I
Lot
second.
line, lot combination, usually we don't sign anything anyway.
you have to stamp and sign the maps.
Stamp and sign the map.
Okay.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
what happens with the cabin on the lot? Like,
Well, that's what I was saying before. It's going to become an auxiliary building. They're just going to have that now as a camping thing, maybe. There's no water in it. They have that rainwater catcher. And as far as the sewage, have you ever seen those composters? It's pretty cool. I have a picture of it. There's this fan on the roof, and there's this box. And apparently the bathroom goes into this box, and then it goes through a composter. And yeah, it's just going to become a shed. I mean, right now, it's like, it's a cool camping thing, but you don't want to go living in it.
It's the guest cottage.
Yeah, they live in Brooklyn. Neat people. They kind of like building things. So, but now they're going to build their future house up there.
Cool. Very good.
All right. I'm all for new houses.
Okay. So Ken, do you need to approve this?
I don't know if it's taken over or what. That's why I've been quiet.
You need to do the lot combination first to approve it.
Right, but is Ed leading now or not?
No, you still are because he's still
Okay,
having a slight hard time hearing you.
Okay, we'll make a motion. Somebody please make a motion to accept the lot line combination for
This is
Roads
Joe.
Pierre.
I'll make a motion, to accept the lot line adjustment.
I
I'll second it, Kathleen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
I vote aye. Mary?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Barry?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Ed?
Aye.
Hey, we heard him.
I heard him.
Okay, we have a motion to combine the lots on Rhodes Pierre. It's carried. Anything else?
You have to authorize the town clerk to sign and stamp your maps.
Someone has to make a motion.
I
Make a
motion.
motion for the town clerk to authorize and sign and stamp.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion for Crystal to be authorized to sign the maps on the Robespierre combination is on the floor. Any discussion?
No.
I vote aye. Mary?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Barry?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Ed?
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried.
Okay, Ed, do we need to do anything else with this property or we're good to go?
That's good to go.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Mike, for joining us.
Where am I going to find my maps?
Call me tomorrow. My maps are still at the office.
All right. So, or just tell me when they're signed and I'll go get them. I don't
Sounds
need
like a
them
plan.
whenever you get to it, okay?
Okay, we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Hi, Mike.
Okay, the next thing on your agenda is going to be Mr. Wyden.
Mr. White was running, he gave us
Yeah, I'm trying to.
his presentation, and we'll ask questions after.
Okay, Brendan, give me 1 sec. I'll pull up your maps.
Okay,
I'm assuming you would like to see option 1 first.
correct.
Okay, well, I'm pulling that up if you want to just kind of give everybody a general idea, if they don't already know.
Okay, my wife and I have purchased the house across from the Union. It's been known as the Kelly House. It's at 14 Erie Avenue. It is a house that actually sits on leased land, leased from the railroad. It backs up on the railroad. It fronts on Erie Avenue. I presented at the February meeting, and at the meeting submitted all the forms. The major item of discussion was the layout of the parking. So I've applied to either convert the existing structure, substantially rebuild it, or totally rebuild it. That's still yet to be determined. But there would be a new structure substantially on the same footprint of the existing structure. We would add a garage and a transition space between the garage and the house. And the ground floor would be commercial. The lot is zoned commercial. And so the ground floor would be commercial and the second floor would be residential. And I had submitted a formula based on the town's zoning code that we would require 8 parking spaces, 4 for the residents, 4 for the commercial. I'd submitted a layout. My layout I submitted in February had an inbound driveway and an outbound driveway. And the concern by the board was that, I forget which driveway it was perhaps too close to Bridge Street, too close to the intersection. And I was requested to go back and take a look at alternative layouts that moved the driveway, the entrance driveway, further away from Bridge Street. And there was some other discussion about orientation, and we'll get to that. So I'm submitting to you 2 plan layouts. The house and garage layout are identical to what we submitted in February. These are 2 different layouts to show how we could get 8 parking spaces on the lot.
What's going on?
And option 1 is my preferred layout. Option 1 has a 25-foot wide, 2-way entrance exit driveway.
Brendan, you have control over the screen.
Okay, thank you. So there's the entrance driveway, 25-foot wide. It's the closest edge is 160 feet from Bridge Street. This gives us 8 parking spaces. I've numbered them 1, 2, 3. 4th is the garage, 5th, 6, 7, 8. And turnaround area in between. This is what I'm asking for approval on. So my process is,
What are you
once
saying,
I
Ed?
have site,
I want to ask Brendan a question.
Brendan, he has a question?
Go ahead.
I was discussing this with the building inspector,
Yes.
and then it's going to be very hard for us to give you an opinion till we actually see the layout of the construction.
Ed, as I had mentioned last time, I'm seeking the approval of the site plan, and then I will engage an architect.
But we don't know how many spaces we need, because right now, what kind of businesses are going in there? I mean, we have 4 spaces for the businesses, no spaces for people to come.
Based on the zoning code, I had submitted a summary of the space requirements. The dwelling units require 2 each. That's, and we're looking
Right.
at 2
And then
dwelling units on the second floor.
Are you going to put in offices, or are you going to put in what? Retail?
What we have put forward was 2 options. One is if retail, the requirement for retail is 1 space per 200 square feet of the portion of the retail open to the public. The
Right.
retail space is 1,053 feet. We had allocated 75% of it is our estimate of what would be open to the public. That 75% gives us 790 square feet open to the public. Based on the formula, that requires 4 parking places for the retail. If it's office serving few customers is 1 space per 400 square feet. That has a requirement for 3. So if we look
But
at,
you're not making any provisions for the people that work there.
Ed, this is the requirement in the code.
I
It's a-
understand that, but we can't approve something where we don't see what it's being applied to. The same as when they did the whole hotel, they told us they're going to have 2 bedrooms and showed us the drawings.
Hey, Ed? Ed, this is Kathleen. Can't the commercial use across the street in front of the union where they already have some access? The employees park and stuff?
It's debatable. I mean, that could be his overflow, yes, but he's still got to, we don't know what he's putting in. We haven't seen a drawing, nor do we know if it's going to be, if he can even build it.
Well, Ed, so the issue of can we build it, right? We discussed that. We will either significantly renovate what's there such that we meet all code requirements, or we will build new. That is not a decision we've made at this point, but we will meet the code requirements, the building code requirements. I've discussed that with Mr. Crowley. I know it's a big lift to renovate what's there, but it's also a big expense to build entirely new. So that decision, I don't think needs to be made right now, but we will be compliant.
Well, I think that the 2 plans you have, both of them are very nice, but we can't give you, I don't think we can give you an opinion on it until we know what's actually going to be there.
So Ed, what do you mean? What exactly do I need to show you?
The actual what the construction is going to be.
But Ed, can I get an approval for the layout of the parking? And once I know I have that, I will engage an architect and we'll give you a plan layout of the interior of the space.
I think we can approve either one of the drawings. It's a matter of what you're going to put in if it's going to meet the code.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? You're asking us to approve something that we don't know what we're approving it for.
Ed, are you wanting to know what the businesses he's putting in?
Ed, we don't know. We don't
Barry's
know.
asking you, are you asking, do you want to know the exact business that they are putting in?
Well, yeah, because if you look in the code book, each business and so on and so forth has different requirements.
And Ed, we meet the requirements if it's retail, which is the more stringent requirement.
You hear what he said?
Yeah.
He's saying that they do meet the requirement because the most stringent requirement is retail, and he does meet those requirements for retail.
Well, it's like, again, I think we can approve either drawing.
Okay,
I mean, there's not that much change in the drawings.
Okay, would you like me to show the second drawing?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
please.
sure. Let's see the second drawing.
1 second. I seem to have way too many screens happening here. Leave this second one. There we go.
So the main feature of the second drawing is that it's moved the entrance exit driveway close to the house, has put all the parking toward the north end. I was asked to take a look at parking perpendicular to the railroad tracks. So that's what this scheme does. This pulls it a little further away from the intersection at Bridge Street, pulls it up to 185 feet. I think this is an inferior layout because I have a pinch point of 21 feet between the edge of the gravel driveway and the edge of this parking space. So this also achieves 8 parking spaces, but it's not the desired layout. So this drawing was created because this was one of the comments raised in the February meeting. I would prefer to, if Crystal, if you would go back to option 1.
Can't see the top of my screen. There you go.
So if this site plan is acceptable, I will engage an architect to look at my options for either rebuilding what's here or putting in something new. I mean, we've already started looking at new things, so we have an idea of what they would cost. But we can show you the ground floor layout and the second floor layout to show the residential units and to show a retail space.
Brendan, where do you enter the building for retail and for the residential?
So Ken,
You have
that's
to walk
interesting.
like through the parking area of 1, 2, 3 to get there?
The retail, we envision coming into this transition space and coming in next to the garage in the transition space. And then coming
Okay.
up a flight of stairs and into two residential units on the second floor.
So you'd enter in front of the garage for both things?
Yes, and this is a 6-foot wide notch for the entrance for the residences.
Right, okay.
And the retail, we envision there being a retail entrance perhaps here or perhaps here. I mean, that's,
We can't see where your here is, Brendan. I have requested for you to use the mouse.
I am using the mouse. I'm using the mouse,
Well,
okay?
Try
There
again,
you
because you
go.
went in the railroad.
There you go.
Now I didn't realize I had to click on your mouse to grab it.
Yeah, that's okay.
So we envision entrance here and probably something here. 2 entrances into this space.
And Brendan, are you looking, did you say that you had 2 one-bedroom apartments upstairs?
Correct. 1 bedroom or studio apartments.
Okay.
Ed, what are your thoughts?
Well, the only thing I like about this better than the other is the handicap parking is right there at the entrance.
Yes.
And also the turnaround, when you came out of 7 and 8 and other, when you had a 13-foot wide spot, you had to basically back by 4 cars and get to the entrance of the garage to turn around. Some people don't back up well, so it could be a problem there.
Yeah. I would say this option is the preferred option, in my opinion. I don't know about anybody else on the board. I'd like some opinions.
Yeah, I think this is a better option.
I see
Bill
no,
agrees with you.
yeah, I see no reason not to approve option.
No, there's no reason why not to give him approval to this. he's meeting it very stringently, the parking itself. And I wasn't at the February meeting, but just looking at this now, and Ken just mentioning how to get into and out of the parking and how to get in. You have the ADA, you have the ability to get in and out, and the accessibility. There's no reason why.
I also think the difference in the length to the driveway is really
Yeah.
negligible. You know,
Yeah.
we're talking about 15 feet, so.
Yeah.
I
Everyone?
think it's a more usable parking area.
Mm-hmm. And even whoever mentioned about like whoever's working the retail, Brendan has the parking across the street. You have it on the street, you know, over across the way. So there's no reason why, you know, whoever is working there, depending on what the retail is, you're not going to have a huge overflow. And people do walk across the street anytime there's something going on at the Union or walking to the town hall. So there's no reason why that can't be utilized also.
I agree.
But
That's my
also
opinion.
keep in mind, Brendan may sell this and still own the Union, and then it's not the same ownership.
Right.
So this needs to stand on its own.
You're right, Ken, yes.
But it appears it does, and you got this parking along the street yet in front of it, so
Mhm.
that's not going away, correct, Brendan?
No, the parking along the street's not going away.
So
Okay.
that's good. Just
I have a
be
question.
with the driveway.
Is there possible parking over the septic area? Is that a soft area that you could just
Can't
occasionally?
get to it, Barry.
There's a fence.
Barry, the septic
Hey,
tank.
you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, the guardrail is there, who does that belong to?
I spoke to Ken Niger. He said it's not his, it's mine.
No, the guardrail.
The
Yeah, but
guardrail.
look at it, Ed, it's a piece of wood. It's a wooden fence.
It's
It's a wooden fence. It's a dilapidated wooden fence. Don Niger, I'm sorry, I still called him Ken. Don Niger, I asked Don about repairing it. He said, it's not mine, it's yours.
Did you hear that, Ed?
I mean, it's gonna remain there though, right?
There, we will rebuild a guardrail of sorts there. There is, if you look at the drawing, if you look at my cursor, the guardrail is a couple of feet, maybe 3 feet off of the paved area. And it's probably 5 feet or more, maybe 8 feet off of the property line.
Mhm.
We would propose to move the guardrail closer to the edge of the paved area.
Mm-hmm.
But we would put some kind of either a split rail fence or a guardrail or some kind of a separation there so people aren't parking on our lawn.
Just remember, you've got to
I
leave
believe-
wide enough for the car to be parked there.
Yep. Yep.
Also, Brendan, is there
I-
a guardrail by the railroad track in the back?
Yeah, as you get close to Bridge Street up at this area, the guardrail is a cable guardrail. I
Mhm.
don't know who owns that, but we're not touching it. I suspect it's part of the town or part of the bridge. It kind of connects toward the bridge over the railroad tracks.
Okay, Ed wanted to say something else. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, I believe that guardrail was put in for people coming down Bridge Street to make that turn to the left. In case they lost control, they wouldn't go down into the railroad, over the embankment.
Yeah, I think that's this little dot you see here. Do I still have control of the mouse?
Yes, you do.
So I think that's the steel cable guardrail, which most of it is not on our property. Looks like just the end of it. We would not be touching that.
It's probably the county's part of the bridge, because the
Yeah.
county has part of the bridge that they,
But Brendan, is there going to be a guardrail at the back of the property overlooking the railroad tracks?
Yes, there will be a guardrail along the back of the property. There will be along the parking zone, there will be a guardrail. And along the rest of it, there will be a fence of some kind, either a chain link fence or a split rail fence with chicken wire or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
There is the remains of a fence there now, but it's barely doing anything.
You just want somebody parking and then going over the embankment.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
So
And-
just so you know, I need your approval for the site to then go to the railroad. I've spoken to the railroad, obviously have had a lot of conversations with the railroad. And they want to see what we're proposing, but they told me, don't come to me until I've gotten approval from the town.
Did you hear that, Ed?
Yeah. And the reverse on that, Brendan, I'd also like to get a letter back from the railroad that they're authorizing, that it's all right with them to go ahead with this too.
Sure,
Or for you to
sure.
go ahead with this.
No, I want something in writing from them before I put a shovel in the ground that they agree.
Yeah.
And when I get that, I'll
Because
certainly share it with you.
I'm not sure if you're going to put a new building in. I think it has to remain the same footprint as the existing building.
So this is the same, this part is new. The garage and the transition space is new. This is on the footprint, on the extension of the footprint of the existing building. The existing building has a porch that projects out in this zone, and this line
Oh,
is,
you don't have my screen anymore.
I don't have your screen.
You have to click on my mouse again.
Your mouse is moving. Okay.
Sorry, I did it.
Okay, now I have it. So
Sorry.
I think we know there's a porch that comes out of and a door that exits the house at this point. This line, which is the easterly line of the house, is at the edge of that porch. So this
Yeah,
setback.
what I'm saying. I think the building inspector told me you're going to have to maintain the same footprint.
Okay. He didn't say that to me. We've not exceeded the reach of the footprint. The footprint is not straight at this point. It's out here and then it jogs in and about 2 feet. And we have brought this line of the building out to the edge of that porch.
Yeah. Now, I would say that would be acceptable, but I'm just, telling you what he told me.
Yep. So
How far is the building going to be from the edge of the pavement at that point? Because you're moving a couple feet closer than it is now for most of it.
yeah, I can scale that off for you, give you a rough dimension.
Regardless, it's still the same dimension from the edge of the porch to the pavement.
Yeah, it's about 7 to 8 feet.
Okay, that's a small porch. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
And the other porch on the right-hand corner towards the street will become part of the house too.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There's a porch right here.
Yeah.
Ed,
Yeah,
you're still with us?
yeah.
Okay. I think they're waiting for you to make a decision as to what we're doing.
I would give a tentative approval to Brendan on both sites, and then at a later date, he can decide himself which one he prefers to use.
Great, thank you.
I think they're both acceptable.
Thank you. And we will submit a layout of the interior of the building. I'll release the architect to work on that.
All right, that would be wonderful. And make sure that copies of it get to the building department also.
Okay. Okay.
So we
All
need
right, I don't
that in
know
the form of a motion.
if we need a motion on this, or do you need a letter, Brendan?
Do I need a letter? Yes, I will probably need to show the town, to show the railroad that the town accepts this site layout.
And Amy, can you write a letter that we approve both drawings? And it's the prerogative of the applicant to which one he wants to use.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who's going to write that letter, Crystal?
When when he gets a little
No, it's
further.
Amy.
Amy's gonna write the letter.
Amy.
Okay.
Amy's the clerk for the planning board.
Yes.
When Brendan gets a little further along, and we know what business is going to go in, he may have to do a special use permit, is that correct? Because of the
Yeah,
change of
probably.
use
And
from
we could get,
residence?
all the, when it boils down, well, we actually have something we can look at and get our teeth into.
Okay,
Just
Is
so
that
that you're
acceptable
not
to you, Brenda?
hit by that as a surprise.
no, I'm glad you clarified that. That's fine. When we know what the uses are gonna be specifically, we will resubmit. First, we have to find some tenants, which is sometimes the challenge,
Well,
particularly in
This
this
is true
environment.
too.
Hey, Brendan, where the septic is, what I was asking earlier, is that an area where an extra car could be?
Barry, I don't think so. If Crystal, you want to bring up layout option 1.
You'd have to drive across Surance land.
This triangle, let me grab the mouse.
Hold on.
Where'd the mouse go? Do I have it?
Now you can click it. Click on mine.
Okay, I have to find yours. Oh, there it is.
It's on the house. There you go.
So Barry, this triangle of land is owned by Shern, who's the neighbor on this side.
Okay.
So
Got
I don't have street frontage right here. I have a right of way. The sewer line goes through here based on that right of way. But
You know, Brendan, I hate to interrupt you, but that property is for sale.
Thank you. I know that.
Sorry, I had to.
One
Go
challenge at a
Crystal.
time. Thank you.
Okay, no, I see that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just thought that was plenty of space to at least lodge in another car.
I would love to just acquire that little triangle. But that's a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff.
But you can't park a car on top of the septic tank.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Well, it's not like a permanent parking, and if it was just like, gravel and there was a surface mount there,
It's not going to happen, Barry.
You
Yeah,
still
thank you
can't
for
park on a tank.
suggestion.
Can't park on it.
It's not in the cards.
I rest.
So I think we need to do a motion still to do this.
I think just a motion to give him a letter of approval for both designs.
Are you making that motion, Ed?
If you could call the vote at that end, it would be easier, Kenny.
Are
Okay.
you going to make that motion, Ed?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we draft a letter for Mr. Wyden approving both designs, and at a later date, he will decide which one he wants to do and review it at that time.
Did you all hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
This is Sean. I'll second that.
Okay.
We need a roll call.
Amy, did you get that?
We have a
Yeah.
motion on the floor with a second. Do we have any further discussion?
No.
That's good.
No.
I vote aye. Mary,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Kathy,
Aye.
John,
John votes aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I think you got everybody. Ken, did you freeze? Amy, did you get them all?
Well,
Did.
Okay,
the motion is passed.
the motion is now passed.
Thank you.
And that is, thank you for coming, Brendan. Thank you for sharing your pictures with us. And you'll be in touch with Amy.
Barry, Beth,
Thank you, Amy. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about the
Okay,
letter.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Ed, did you have any other business?
No, I think that's all we have tonight. It's nice to see everybody for a change. And just to let you all know, and I never got my surgery, so I'm still hobbling around, but we'll get there someday, I guess.
We will. We will get there. Okay. Ken, you want to close out your meeting?
Yes. put a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting, and we will reconvene in the month of May.
I'll second it, Mary.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That
All
was,
opposed? So carried.
all right. That was a wonderful meeting, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
First,
And Amy and everyone here, I will be sending you the information for the public hearing for May 18th. Will that also, you'll be having a regular meeting as well that day, Ed?
Yes.
And there'll be a public hearing. A public hearing will be first. We'll send the letters out to that.
Okay, I will get the Zoom meeting information set up tonight and I'll forward that out to everybody. And we'll all be in touch, okay?
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody.
Have a lovely evening, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
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 Hey, Ed. Yes, I'm here. Hold